what's up, peoples? If I so happen to replay this, you be with media. Wow, a blast from the past. What do you say? What do you say? Oh, you back? No, I'm just on YouTube. I don't know what the am I back? I went on the other night, uh, unsuccessfully. But yeah, if anyone else catches this on the replay, uh, I miss seeing you guys. Bunch of mixed feelings, ball of energy, but we'll see if some people come in here and I could maybe tell you some things that's going on. Maybe not. Caught that late. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries, man. Hey, I got new internet, so you can give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I have a repeater, but I don't know exactly where I want to place it yet. I did place it, but you know, what you talking about, girl? I'm getting some new chickens and a duck. You're gonna want to hear this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be making. I might make that decision has forced me to make my a reaction video actually. That decision, I'm guessing that's today's decision. Duck eggs, apps. I guess I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns, but if we get a few people in here, I'll answer some questions definitely about what's about to happen. Um, I've noticed that when I've gone live the last two times, uh, true struggles of like, who the f are you? Like, why are you going live? Because we don't want to send no one there. Um, and respectfully, you are my friend. You be with media. If it were me and you, I could just call you. But we'll see. We'll give it a minute. Um, this is random, unplanned. I didn't think they punishing you. Maybe, and that's their choice. Just be nice to get a little email and not be in the mystery of it. I don't doesn't bother me. Just like the snake that I had to remove yesterday because my grass has been getting too high. It didn't bother me. I just moved on with my life. That intestinal fortitude that you didn't know that you really had. I mean, some of us know, but snakes and rodents and that's never been my thing. Nah, keep that trimmed. I think it's just from a realistic side. It's not always gonna be. Things happen, things break, vacations happen. You know, so you're gonna have to deal with what you're gonna have to deal with. I'm trimming it now. I'm in the process of cutting it back, which is the most important thing. You got a dog for nothing. I wish my dog was more doggy, but my dog is not so doggy. See the rabbit? I don't know if you could catch. It's my little friend right here. This is a wild rabbit. Just hangs out with me. So I'm so inspired that I'm likely gonna be making a little video game. Look at that. Never seen the dog on stream? Not sure about that. Maybe, maybe not. All right. Well, anyone who may have hopped in here, popped in, popped out. I'm Darnell. Sometimes I'm just talking. All right. Well, obviously this live ain't gonna last long. We don't got much of a heartbeat, but I randomly said, let me just jump in here. My son gave me a warning. I got a warning from my son saying you're gonna lose your chops. Sending me pictures on stream. It's funny. Oh man, I can't see. Okay. Yeah. So my son sent me a warning. Was there something I was supposed to see in that picture other than a picture of the stream? Or is it the quality? I kind of want the rabbit to come up to me and be like, "What's up? How's it going?" I can't see the statistics. What happened to my music? Hold on. Uh, what did I do? All right, I'm back now. Sorry, I'm gonna stop touching buttons. Nope, nope. I gotta have my music. Sorry. Did it. Oof. So I guess I just have to start. Um, my son has been a little concerned that I don't stream anymore. Not many other people have noticed. I've gotten a message from my boy Daywalk. Shout outs to you. I spoke to you, Be With Media, uh, Mick the Pick, very briefly. Not so much about the stream. I am cooking on a true understanding, a revelation that I've finally come to as to why all the friction for a long time. Not just friction with YouTube, but friction with my job or just my profession, I should say. And finally came to a conclusion um, that pretty much makes the most sense, and it, it helps me. It helps me to get closure on certain things. So I'm here not because I'm starting some new streak. I'm just popping in. It's getting dark. My battery died for my electric lawnmower, and I wanted to do some work, but everything seemed to just not work. So just an opportunity. I said, what if, like, crazy idea, what if I streamed? So uh, I just kind of grabbed my phone and my tripod happened to be hanging out right there. And here we are. Got my little camping chair. Still haven't ripped off the tag. Um, I wanted to give some nice scenery, but that didn't really happen. I'm actually pleased with my garden situation. A lot of the things that I was building some months ago, I would love to give an update. Maybe I'll just do a video of that. But I would love to give an update as to some of those projects and how they went, how they're going. I think we just are at this point in the summer where, to me, it's not really summer anymore. The mornings are very cool. The fall is like pushing in. It's almost time to, maybe 2 or 3 weeks to get some fall crops started. Most of the summer crops are done. Um, a short would be nice. I'm rushing because the summer. Well, it's you be with how you define the word summer, right? If I'm going by the feeling as a kid, the summer for me was it was drastically hot. Carolyn, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Um, where have you been? I've been here. I've been here. I look like my brother-in-law. He calls me brother Sunflower. Yeah, I look like brother Sunflower, so I might have to go do the grooming thing again. Look, my little rabbit's behind me. That's not my rabbit. That's just the rabbit that I was telling you that I created with my systems by accident. Um, but yeah, I've been you know I'm not gonna say I haven't been bad. YouTube just hasn't been a part of my routine, and I was before you got on, Carolyn. I was talking about briefly. I don't really want to disclose too much because some of the thoughts are like private. CJ, what's up, man? Nice to see you, CJ. Drop a joke in there, man. Drop a joke in there, man. No, you know what? It's Carolyn. I would love to say that that's really just it. I think um, the short answer to why I don't stream is because I didn't when and you be with media if he's still hanging out. He could just thumbs up all of this because I kind of gave him an earful the other day. Even verbally attacked him um, as a friend. Um, I'm a purposeful person, and there was a point when I started streaming that I had just a little bit of purpose, and I understood why. And then the streak became the purpose. What do you call a salad that's getting dressed? Okay, CJ. That's a summertime joke. You need to take your ass back to school, CJ. You need to do some workbooks and get ready for school. That joke was horrible. Oh man, nah, keep it coming. Um, yeah, but I'm a very purposeful person, and even before I started streaming constantly, consecutively, however anybody wants to see that, um, there became a point where I was looking for the audience to helped me with the purpose. In my head, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I thought like things would grow to a point to where the identity was there, and that I could feed off of that identity. And there was points, there were pockets of that. But I would say when I got around like day 140, um, turning on the stream for the sake of saying, hey, I'm on here because it's day 140 didn't really have a vibe to it. It didn't feel it felt with more friction. So I just listened to my heart, and I was like, I actually one day I was preparing for family to come in town. So I'm doing all this cleaning and moving stuff around, and I did a good job of hosting what we called the Golden Girls B&B. Uh, I hosted my mom, my aunt, who's older than my mom, and then my great aunt, so my mom's aunt. And the Golden Girls B&B was was awesome. What do you call an onion you can call someone on? An onion ring. CJ is hungry, y'all. Get this brother a burger. Get him a burger, please. I actually had some ziti tonight. It's pretty good. Um, so yeah, I was preparing for the Golden Girls B&B. There was a lot of vulnerable feelings. There was a lot of knowing that I was going to be super fatigued. I had the week off from work. The vacation, as in being out of work and family coming into town, was awesome. It was like amazing. But there was one night, the night before they came, that I was so burnt out that I did not even, that routine that I had for literally 145 straight days, whether I didn't like it or or actually liked it, just didn't happen. I went into a different mode. I just went into, I have a job to do and I'm not going to stop until it's finished. So I did that job. I got that job done and I felt good. I was able to host the Golden Girls. But I woke up a day later and now I'm in the middle of like family being in town and I said, oh my God, I cannot believe like there was no reminder. Like I just, you do something for that many days straight. Not that that's like a lifetime. I mean, for some insects, it clearly it's a lifetime, but you do something all that time and then you just stop. So that's what it was for me. And the day after, I mean, I could have just continued without issue, right? Like nothing was stopping me from getting on stream the next day. But my family was in town, and then I started to get those feelings. It was like no one in my immediate life even, they didn't even think about it. It was a nothing burger. It was like it never happened. And I was in, I guess, like third person, just saying, "Wow, I guess." It, who does it really mean something to it meant something to me, but I, from the beginning, it was always a shared event. All right, I'm gonna change my perspective a little bit. And two of you who are still hanging out, appreciate you. That's the real ones. uh you get to see this garden behind me that I had to clean up, but things are looking good. Gonna have a lot of pinto beans, I'll tell you that. So I I felt like I started doing an analysis. Essentially, I was analyzing, yo. I was analyzing, like all of these people, including my family. I was just like, what I did to me was something that was very, there was risk involved. It took a lot of guts. It took a lot of courage to do and to keep up what I was doing. And if anyone that I knew told me like they were doing something that was going to take a lot of courage, that was something that's not normal for someone their age. I don't care if you're 70, 80, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to kind of figure out how to have your back and support and follow up. And I think I did the whole week, and it was not one word. Like it was almost like what I did, what I was doing, what I cared about didn't really matter. And I'm speaking about people who are aware that I was streaming, have joined the stream at times. I give a little shout out here. So instead of being like confronting people, I just sat back and observed, and I was just like, man, in reality, if you don't have the purpose for why you're doing it, you cannot lean on someone else at all. I was relieved at having missed the day because I felt like all I was doing was trying to keep up with the next day once it got too too thick. Like too many days. I'm on like day 145, and I'm like, okay, this was great, but it wasn't the crew. It wasn't Carolyn and Doan, and it wasn't that. Katie, it wasn't that. It was me showing up, and then it might be random, and then you get the weird messages, and so I just didn't really, what I'm saying, I didn't vibe with that. And to them, this is their first day meeting me. Who cares if I've been on for 145 days? So I just didn't. I lost the purpose of it. That was never my intent to come on there and have this amazing streak. I just kind of jumped on the train and thought that I was doing something good. I learned a lot from it. So actually, I appreciate. I think I was successful in many ways with what I was doing and what I was trying to achieve. I achieved the learning. I definitely achieved learning. Um, YouTube is still definitely a hard platform. If I were to give myself advice moving forward, I definitely would be a little bit more myself. Like at times, I've always strayed away from certain topics that I could have a conversation with offline, and I would guard that because I do want. I like safe spaces, but there's a balance between not being able to grow a channel and get the respect that people may deserve. I mean, I'm not fulfilling what I want to with YouTube, not because of any kind of monetization goal, but I started to see a big stunt in the growth. And what I was telling people before is just doing the math. You only have a fixed amount of time. How much time, like at some point you have to do some metric to show like the return on the investment, and you gotta there may not be a return on the investment, right? If I stop today, there's no return. So how does YouTube impact my life moving forward? These are things that I've had to question, and I have the answers that I have today, and I'll ride with them. But other than that, like I said, I've been trying to work through just the friction of just my life, and something that I've done for as my profession. Um, I've thrown it out there a few times, man. There's a lot of bats flying up. If I turn into Batman on this stream, you guys seen it all go down. So yesterday was snakes or a snake. Today is bats. Um, but yeah, I've mentioned it on the stream in the past that um, what was I saying? I mentioned it. I mentioned it on the stream in the past that um, no snakes or bats. Yeah, I had to pick up a snake with a little hay fork yesterday and send him on his way. Um, had a little moment, had a little bit of respect for one another, but that comes along with the garden, and sometimes when you start doing bad with certain things, like I'd have to say my own rules about leaving tarps around, and I've left a couple tarps around, and I'm paying for it. So I took my payment, my punishment and penalty, and I wasn't upset about it. I made a nice little compost pile that the snake was guarding for me underneath a tarp, and I left the pile for over a week, didn't turn it, no attention. It's probably nice and warm, still had a thermometer in there, so it was about 100 degrees. So I'd say that the snake was totally fine in darkness, 100 degrees out of the sun, but just chilling and moist. So, um, but yeah, I was saying something. I'm kind of lost what I was saying. Something that I mentioned on the stream before. Oh, um, speaking to how you define yourself when you, like, if you were in a room, if you were in a social event, if you were in a party, and you, hey, I'm Darnell. You know, other than the outfit that I have on, if I'm wearing something goofy, or if I have, obviously you see this New York sign, like a conversation starter. How long in a conversation before I'm gonna say, "Hey, I'm a software engineer," and that being just an interesting thing that I feel like, just personally. Yeah, thank you, Karen. Just know that it wasn't because I'm just like, I need to be in my life. I just need to do it my way. Like, either way, it should be your way. You should have peace. Um, whew, that bat was about 20 feet away. Yeah, we gotta take care of those. Um, but yeah, so how fast are you going to define yourself as your career? You know, I, I would never say, and I'll probably be kicked out of every room, "Hey, I'm Darnell." And then you start talking, "I'm a deep thinker. I love thinking about deep stuff. I just love it." Like, that's not going to be what you say, but it's acceptable for me to say, "I'm a software engineer." And I've had a problem for some time just figuring out why do we as people do that, and that kind of represents what I do for a job, and it's almost turning into something that I'm not even proud of, in a sense, because of the way that I attach myself to it for the sake of having that uh, social understanding as to, like, lead you, the person, to what I'm about, right? But there's a long list of that. Like, "Hi, I'm Darnell, and I love putting my hand in soil after I've turned the chicken poop into compost, and I just love the smell." Or I investigate when I'm gonna do human manure one day and have compost toilets all over my property. That's not really a conversation starter, right? But, obviously it's just it's easy on the ears, and that's just something that I've had to um, have answers for myself. Just, what's the why do I do that? Why do I always have to say I'm a software engineer? And am I putting myself in a place where the day that I'm not a software engineer, um, oh, I don't, yeah, I'm Darnell. I love catching snakes. It's like, no one wants to know this. They People want the story about, and I actually do have a funny snake story from yesterday. When I first saw this snake, so this, to me, this is borderline. All someone's gonna do, they probably just gonna say, "Oh wow, that's crazy," but I pulled up the tarp and I did the jump back, right? Get back. Woo! Goddamn, it's a rat snake. Black, nice black, pretty rat snake. And it wasn't huge. I'm guessing it wasn't a full grown snake. It has some size on it, maybe 4 feet, maybe it probably about 4 feet, and it was wrapped up. So right there, right then and there, I say to myself, I got so many years in the game. There's no reason to, outside of, yeah, I know, Karen. I know. So there was no reason to overreact to it right there. So I did my overreaction and just that initial, and then that's it. It's over. So I just put the tarp back on and said, "I'm gonna deal with you later, brother." And 2 hours later, no lie, 2 hours later, I had no problem waiting that long. 2 hours later, I say, okay, now I got to deal with this. So I go, and now I'm a little more timid because I don't know the state that the snake is going to be in. So there's, essentially, the snake would have left and said, "All right, you're right. I was hanging out near Darnell's space. Let me move. He's been nothing but generous to me by leaving all these dark spaces and tarps up." But that's not what happened. So I go do the little lift up, and I'm trying to have my wits with me. I don't tell anyone in the house about it because they either are going to overreact in either direction. It's just not going to be as calm as I am. So I didn't want them coming out here. I know why all these bats are flying. They are going to town on the mosquitoes right now. I've never seen it like this. Hey, eat them up. You would have never returned to the yard again. It's my yard. It's actually the garden that needs repair. It's the garden that needs recovery, and I keep recovering a little bit of it, and then I lose time, and then it takes it back. Um, so I go to the garden and I lift up the tarp again, and I don't see a snake, but I know for a fact that I didn't like. It's a nice size tarp, probably like a, let's just say 15 by 15. Maybe it's a little bit smaller than that. So I go lift up the tarp. I don't see the snake exactly. I don't see anything. So I say, okay, well, the tarp is long enough. I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna just pull it, and I'm gonna be walking. So ain't nothing gonna be getting me. This little tiny snake can't wrap me up or anything. I don't even want the experience. Or I'm gonna just take the tarp, and then the snake is gonna dissipate. Right, it's gonna go wherever it goes or disappear. So I only got like 2 more minutes. These bats gonna think I'm a mosquito. So I pull the tarp. I pulled the tarp about 5 feet, and I don't see a snake. What the heck? But I felt the the most subtle amount of weight difference it registered in my brain. A tarp is an ounce lighter than this, a few ounces lighter than this. And boy, was I right. That damn snake was still wrapped up in a little corner of the tarp that was like folded over. So in my head, I said, I know you win there, but how wrapped up you are, I don't want to have to deal with you, and I want to just bring you as far as possible so that you have better ideas tomorrow, and you don't have to come back this way. So I say, you know what? We gonna walk with this tarp, and if it's in there, it's in there. It'll come out. Don't you know I walk like 30 feet? I'm moving this thing for 30 feet. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, this is a standard thing for me to pick up a tarp, not think nothing of it, walk around with the tarp and move it to another location. Why is there a snake traveling with me for 30 feet? 30 feet. Why is there a snake traveling with me? I look back out the corner of my eye, and the snake like jumps out. Jumps. The snake jumped out the side of the tarp like he didn't want to take the ride. So again, I wasn't phased. I said, okay, that's a snake. That ain't the little teeny gardener snake that I saw the other, a month ago. That's a snake. And I think, okay, well, go get the hay fork. I use a hay fork for compost for the most part, and so I go get that. I'm thinking, I watch this stuff all the time. I can just pick it up, and it's gonna go on the. I pick it up. I can move it wherever I want. I can lift it up and put it in a bag in the garbage. It didn't quite work out as easy as it does on YouTube with a snake whisperer. It didn't work out like that. I picked it up. Finally got the pitchfork under it. The grass is a little high, so I had to kind of like really, get in there. I pick up the snake, and the snake just slithers off of the thing, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And now the snake is a little defensive because it kind of rounds up. So because he rounded up, I was able to scoop him with the pitchfork, and I got the whole snake on it. And I take the snake. It's probably like it's a half acre that way. That's the easiest thing to say. So half acre that way, near the back fence, near where there's more woody, and I place the snake over there, and I walk back over here. My kitchen window opens up, and my family is applauding. You did a great job. That was awesome. That was awesome. At no point did I know that any of them were there. Did we have a conversation? I didn't see them. At no point did they think I'm going to come help him. They watched me from afar and just applauded the fact that I got the job done. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Well, Carolyn, thanks for hanging around. Man, no, I felt that. I definitely felt that way, Carolyn. I was just like, I mean, for them it was a moment, right? So I kind of do have to live into the future because they're gonna tell a story that I don't know. I don't know that side of the story. I know it would have been nice to have some assistance or just some thinking through or nope, that's not what it was. For them, it was, wow, look at my dad. I'm not going out there. That's for my dad. He just takes care of these things. Man, I even grew up around no grass. What you, a snake. All right, well, I'm not going to get bit up out here. I do need to move some stuff inside, so I got like 10 more minutes. Carolyn, it was nice. I don't know next time I'm gonna see you, but hopefully sometime soon. This was a fun live to come back in. I feel refreshed in the sense that I'm not really looking for anything. I'm not looking for any excuse to be on here. Have a good night. It was nice chatting with you as well. Peace.